Welcome to the show. I am Mike. I'm sitting right here. T-Roy's here as well. What up, T?
Hi, Mike.
How are you, pal?
I'm well. I'm sitting here as well.
I don't think you've ever called me Mike before.
I know. I like to change it up a little bit.
Yeah, flip it up, right?
Keep you on your toes.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. How's your day going?
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's almost over.
So it is. We're getting a late start. I had a ton of shit going on.
Got to keep the listeners on the toes, too.
Right?
Yeah,
They
went
never
early
know.
yesterday, late today.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Always want them, leave them wanting more.
Why should they get used to a routine or a schedule?
Sure.
Schedule, schmedule. Yeah. I had so many people over today, just in and out doing stuff, measuring stuff, blah, blah, blah.
The old in and out,
planning
eh?
stuff. Yeah, the old in and out. Big fan of the in and out. But in between all the ins and outs, I did pull some stories. I think we got some interesting shit going on,
Excellent.
including one we'll get to in a little bit. Do you remember Vic Faust? I think he was Channel 7.
Channel 7 News?
Yeah.
Maybe, was he sports?
Yes, I believe he was.
Okay, yeah.
I think
I can
we had,
picture his face.
yeah,
Okay.
good looking dude.
Yeah.
I think we had Vic in studio. I'm sure we did on the Drew and Mike show, but
All right.
he's out of a gig.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What dude do?
Well, we'll get to that in a little bit. But he
right.
went a little jit and ham
Ooh, nice
on
teaser.
a chicken studio with him
Oh, boy.
in a commercial break.
Hot mic situation?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Leaked. All 5 minutes of it.
Oh, shit. I cannot wait for that. Oh, Vic.
I couldn't find unedited, uncensored, which
Really?
sucks because
Oh, yeah.
every other word out of his mouth is fucking bitch and
Yeah, it's all just beeped.
It's all beeped, and it's just I maybe I could have looked harder. My guess is that what was put out was bleeped.
Probably, yes.
So but we'll get to that in a little bit.
Okay.
That's something, a little teaser, something come up. People, if they Google Vic Faust, they'll probably remember him. They'll
Yeah.
definitely recognize him. He was in Detroit for a few years.
Yeah.
But we'll start with one of our favorite stories, and that's the illegal immigrants.
Oh,
Not
one
like-
of our favorite stories?
Yeah.
Our favorite story.
Yeah, one of mine, for
anyway.
sure. Yeah. I mean, just the Martha's Vineyard shit alone is one of my favorites. It's not a big deal here, but some of the illegal immigrants who were flown to Martha's Vineyard last week by Ron DeSantis have filed a lawsuit.
Oh, did they?
Yes.
They filed a lawsuit,
They
did they?
did, yes.
Of course.
In federal court alleging that they were victims of fraudulent and discriminatory scheme to relocate them. The fucking nerve.
The gall
The balls.
on these people.
Yes. The country owes you as much as Venezuela owes me, is how I feel about it. You're going to fucking crash our border, get carted around the country, and then sue this country. Can you imagine if you crashed Venezuela's border and then sued them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it's a problem.
Yeah. It's a problem. And I'm sure this was their idea.
Well, every other country has open borders, don't they?
Yeah, no.
You can just walk into every
Not a
country?
single country on planet Earth.
No?
Except America.
Oh,
America's the only one on Earth.
boy, I
Try
had
it
that
anywhere.
wrong. Yeah.
Try to crack into anybody's fucking
Canada
country.
seems like a nice place. You can't just walk into Canada?
No.
Really?
No. Absolutely not. Under any circumstance.
What if I'm just cutting through to Alaska?
No, I don't think so.
No?
Not without proper paperwork. And they need to welcome you in to their country. Because you know what? It's their country.
That is weird.
Which is why they could have goofy laws if they want, and we can just kind of laugh at them.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Who knew?
So the leftist lawyers for civil rights claimed in the lawsuit in Boston that Florida officials designed and executed a premeditated, fraudulent, and illegal scheme centered upon exploiting this vulnerability for the sole purpose of advancing their own personal, financial, and political interests.
Okay.
The lawyers claim that the illegal immigrants were enticed using such perks as
Food?
$10 McDonald's gift cards.
Oh, I mean, who wouldn't fucking get on a bus for that?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, if that doesn't say bribery, I don't know what does.
Who wants to go for a plane ride?
Yeah. $10 gift cards. That's something an intern picked up on the way into the office that day. Just grab like $200 worth of fucking cards.
Yeah, here you go.
We'll let them stop, on the bus, from the bus ride to the plane. We'll hit a drive-through,
Yep.
and they can all grab a couple cheeseburgers and some fries.
Meal vouchers.
Yeah.
Nice.
Here you go. So that's all it took. $10 McDonald's cards, and they were bamboozled.
Yeah.
They had no idea. No human being should be used as a political pawn in the nation's highly polarized debate over immigration, said Ivan Madrigal, executive director of Lawyers for Civil Rights. Democrats have sought to inflict political damage on DeSantis, who they fear may run for president in the near future, over the incident by suggesting without evidence that he engaged in kidnapping and human trafficking. DeSantis' office responded to the lawsuit with quite a statement. They also included photographs of the consent forms.
What do you think the incentive was for them to agree to the lawsuit?
Yeah, $20 gift certificates to Burger King. Yeah, who knows how many they even knew what they were talking about. You know,
Right.
these groups that saddle up at the borders and take these cases on, you know, it's just a joke. So he says, DeSantis says, it is opportunistic that activists would use illegal immigrants for political theater. If these activists spend even a fraction of this time and effort at the border, perhaps some accountability would be brought to the Soup administration's reckless border policies that entice illegal immigrants to make dangerous and often lethal journeys through Central America and put their lives in the hands of cartels and Quixotes.
The Quixotes.
The transportation of the immigrants to Martha's Vineyard was done on a voluntary basis. The immigrants were homeless, hungry, and abandoned, and these activists didn't care about them then. Florida's program gave them a fresh start in a sanctuary state, and these individuals opted to take advantage of chartered flights to Massachusetts. It was disappointing that Martha's Vineyard called in the Massachusetts National Guard to bust them away from the island within 48 hours. Yeah. States like Massachusetts, New York, and California will better facilitate the care of these individuals who they have invited into our country by incentivizing illegal immigration through the designation as sanctuary cities and support for the Soup administration's open border policies. In this past legislative session, the Florida legislature appropriated $12 million to facilitate transportation, blah, 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 which is consistent with federal law.
You know, I heard a little bit about that earlier. And
NPR?
Yeah, well, you know. But part of that lawsuit is that there's, I forget, I'm not a smug lawyer, so I don't know all the terminologies here, but there's an injunction against him doing it again as part of a cease and desist type of a thing.
Too bad. They're in the country. They can go anywhere they want.
No, I understand, but that's where that's a move to jockey to where if he does it, then he is in violation of this order.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not really about this lawsuit. It's about an opportunity
to
stop him and use that as to weaponize it, basically.
Yeah.
That was my take on it anyway.
Well, I was all in favor. They freaked out so hard with 50 of them. You know, we saw it firsthand. They're all congratulating themselves, the biggest smug, elitist pricks in the country. All, bending over backwards to congratulate themselves, pat themselves on the back for such a humanitarian effort that they provided for all these people before kicking them the fuck out of Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah,
get off our island and go to your little, your little campsite here. Which
Somewhere
basically
else. Anywhere else.
Yeah, anywhere else. But
out of my sight.
Yeah. Get out of here. Don't be wandering around my streets. Do not even think that you're moving to Martha's Vineyard. Forget it. So I wanted to send more and more and more, not to just be an asshole, but like, okay, if 50 was a problem, what are you going to do with 1,000? You going to keep just shuffling them off to Cape Cod?
Now, imagine 2 million.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So when they're getting, what is it, 7,000 a day crossing illegally
like that,
into Texas?
That they count?
Yeah. 7,000 a day. It's either, I don't want to screw that up. It's either 2,400 or 7,000. Either way,
it's a big number.
It's a few thousand people every single day.
Non-stop.
You freaked out with 50.
Day after day after day after day.
I'm
They're
not
supposed
saying
to just absorb that.
Right.
Because they have the infrastructure in place
Right.
because they're a border town. That's what they're there for, right?
Right. DC's mayor would have you believe that.
Mm-hmm.
So he's made the point already with 50, which knocked them off their feet.
Yep.
But I'd still like to see 1,000 go there in busloads of 100. 10 busloads of 100
Every hour.
Just
drop another busload.
Just drop them off.
Just
another
caravan.
plane. And then see what they do. If it's still this welcoming community that's, oh my God, we're doing everything we can, or do they just keep shipping them? I want to see what their reaction is as a sanctuary city.
They put the National Guard at the bridge or however the fuck you get to
Right. There's an airport on Martha's Vineyard.
You just got to fly in.
Yeah.
There's no land.
I don't know. I'm not exactly sure, but I know
there would be a bridge, but maybe not.
Yeah, there probably is. Yeah. But either way,
they're posting them up right into the. How do you get permission to land there? I guess if it's just a legit flight. But
yeah, you just book a flight, and then they'll see you in.
Okay.
So
Doesn't
I
matter
just
who's
want
on
10
it.
more planes to go there with 100 people each. Another
Just the old
1,000.
touch and goes. Just drop, dump them off.
Yep.
Keep looping around.
Because and it's not so much like burdening them, which I don't care about anyways, but what is the reaction going to be when you're going above and beyond congratulating yourself with the absolute humane treatment of the 50?
Yeah.
What do you do with 1,000?
They treated them like such animals, and we took such good care of them.
Yeah.
We gave them meals, and we gave them clothes. And
so did Florida.
We got them the fuck off the island.
Yeah, fuck off the island. They couldn't handle 2 nights.
Post haste.
Yeah. So, yeah.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Well, that's interesting. I hadn't heard that, T, that would make sense, that they're trying to get something. Because their other argument is, they didn't give us heads-up warning, as if Texas or Arizona gets heads-up warning all the time that, another 7,000 people are coming across their border today. Right.
Of course.
That's how that works. So, yeah, are you helping them coordinate down in Texas like you wish would be reciprocated to you
Exactly.
in D.C. or Martha's Vineyard? No, you're not.
Absolutely
You're not. You're willing to just turn a blind eye to whatever's going on at the southern border as long as it doesn't affect you.
Arizona's kind of a funny one because now that went blue. As opposed to Texas.
It's not, though.
I know it's not really, but as far as their leadership, their governor now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
They don't want to shit on Arizona too hard.
Right.
Just make sure they keep it in Texas
and
Florida.
That's why they keep taking the shots at Abbott and DeSantis. Yeah, they're leaving
because they're not doing
it. Ducey?
Is that who it is now?
Something like that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Whatever.
Yeah, they're all interchangeable to me. But yeah, isn't that interesting? Like Arizona's being kind of left off that. They always mention Texas and Florida.
Yeah.
Because,
and I mean, how they get,
reason.
exactly. It's not like they're coming across the border to Florida. And the Haitians and the Cubans or whatever coming off on rafts and shit. But they're in Florida. They're getting flown in.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not walking around the Gulf.
No.
No,
they're not. No. Interesting stuff. Well, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I hope it continues because I think it's whether they thought it would be this effective or not is irrelevant. It is, and it's got a national discussion going on.
Absolutely.
That any sane, rational person can understand. Like you just cannot have.
It's funny because I still don't think it matters.
No,
people are just their heels are dug in.
Yeah,
they already have their side. Their minds are already made up. If you're of that belief, then you think that what they're doing is illegal, that it was kidnapping, that they should be brought up on charges, and that it's atrocious what they're doing. Mm-hmm. And it's comical, almost.
That will go nowhere, first off.
Oh, no, I understand that, but I'm just saying.
It's more about the headlines.
But when you talk about the fact that it's, opening eyes or beginning some dialogue, it's not.
Well, it sort of is because you do have very big, historically blue areas in those real southern border areas, where you've got tons of Hispanics, historically very, very blue, and they are pissed. And they're not having it. And those towns are going to flip. They're going to flip red because they understand how bad this is.
Yeah.
So that's in Arizona. That's in Texas.
Right.
A lot of those areas. So I don't know. We'll see. I hope they don't stop though. Good. File federal lawsuits. Keep making headlines. And
New Mexico's on the border down there, isn't it?
No, not.
No,
not
they don't touch it.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Okay.
It is an international story. But I think New Mexico is up a little.
Is it farther up?
Yeah, I think it's a little further up. I mean, we could Google that's pretty embarrassing that neither of us know that.
Yeah.
But they don't mention New Mexico.
Hey, listen, I never said I was any good at fucking geography, man.
Right.
Okay. Let's see here.
Oh, I guess it does.
I thought it
Why do they not mention New Mexico? Is no one going to New Mexico because it's just like old Mexico?
I guess so, exactly. Like, we don't want to go there. I don't know what happened here. I can't see for shit. But yeah, Arizona.
New Mexico and Texas.
Texas.
Or is it just north of Texas? It might just be technically north of Texas, so that it touches, but it's not.
Here we go. Here's the zoom. I'm not great.
Yeah, that's
at this stuff. There we go.
I kind of want to know this. I'm surprised we didn't know this.
Yeah, I do too. Look at this. There's a little tit right there, isn't there?
Yeah, just barely.
Yep. So that's why they got just a little.
Yeah, so Texas goes across, and then Arizona.
Juarez right there. That's for nothing.
So we came in from north, like Albuquerque.
What?
Didn't we when we went there?
Yeah.
Because that's where that Los Pollos Hermanos.
Yes. Was
The
that
Chicken
that's
Brothers?
Albuquerque? Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we came across this way.
Oklahoma. And we just hit
And
the
then-
tip of
and
Texas.
then we went to here and then to there. That was
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
Cannonball
yeah.
Run.
Yep.
That
Exactly.
is correct.
Got it.
Indeed. Wow, there you go. Now you know.
Very good. The more you know.
Oh, yes.
Two people who smartly wish to remain anonymous have claimed the $1.337 billion Mega Millions jackpot after a single ticket to the late July drawing was sold in a Chicago suburb, opting to take the lump sum payment of $780.5 million.
That's smart.
Yeah. The Illinois lottery said the prize, which was the nation's third largest lottery prize, was claimed by two individuals who had agreed to split the prize if they won.
Okay.
If they won, these
Well-
two individuals actually both won, and they'd already agreed to split it if they
No,
won?
it's one ticket. They were like partnered up on it. or whatever.
Oh, is that what it means?
Yeah. And that's so.
Oh,
whatever.
okay, okay. You're right. You're right.
Right. Like
Yeah.
Tucci and I do the scratch offs all the time. Whatever we win, we split. You know,
Yeah.
doesn't matter who buys them. It's just,
Yeah.
that's kind of the deal. It just
Unless you
plays
get one
on.
for a few grand, and then you just quietly put that in your pocket.
Yeah. No, another loser.
Sorry, Tooch.
Sorry, buddy.
Yep. The winners wish to remain anonymous. That's the only way to do it.
Smart. Yeah.
You
Fuck
can't.
yeah.
Dude, it's
Just buy your island first.
it varies by state. Some of them, they have to identify you,
Really?
which is total bullshit to me.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Because think about the mess your life would turn into if you won $780 million.
But there's got to be even ways around that because there's no, you don't have to like show ID or anything to buy a ticket. It's just, it's arbitrary.
Right.
When you just buy a ticket. So whoever is possession of that ticket owns that ticket.
Right.
There's no, I mean, you could literally punch the guy out in front of the lottery ticket and walk in with it.
Yeah.
Until it's signed, right?
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing, the signed part.
You have-
They're
you
like,
have to-
you
you have to
want to
sign
sign it immediately.
Yes, so that can't happen.
Yeah.
Exactly. But before you sign it, that's why you hold off on this shit instead of just I won.
Yeah.
You know, I would talk to the lawyers, find out, set up a corporation or however that works, some way
Mm-hmm.
to defend yourself. Keep yourself out of the.
You'd have to move. If you were in a state that had to identify you, you'd have to move.
Yeah, but well, I'm not sure how that. Well, I don't think you can because you'd have to do it in the state that it was purchased in.
Right, but as soon as you took
Even
ownership of
I
that
wonder
money,
if,
you
but
have
I wonder
to.
if that's true for because the Powerball and the Mega and stuff are basically national now. They're getting bigger. I mean, there's more and more states involved.
Right.
So they're multi-state. So I wonder if
Well,
it
this
has
is
to
multi-state,
be,
right? Mega Millions?
Yeah, that's the Mega and the Powerball. Those are the two big ones.
Right.
And it used to be like Mega was these states and Powerball was these states. And, you know,
Oh,
like,
no kidding. I
Like
didn't know that.
Michigan's got its own lotto,
Yeah,
Lotto
yeah.
47 or whatever.
What is that,
each
the 3
thing.
and the 5 number or whatever?
Something like
3
that.
and
I
4 number?
don't know exactly, but these that are good throughout multiple states. I wonder if that means they're cashable in multiple states, or if
Probably
it has
not.
to be
No,
in where you bought it.
It is because the Illinois lottery is mentioned throughout the story. Like, so since it was sold in a
Yes, it was
Chicago.
there, even though it's right.
Right.
But you
So-
could have bought. You can play that game in multiple states, and that ticket could have been. Well, I guess because it goes to like their schools and things like
Right.
that. Yeah,
Right.
there's benefits to
Which
their.
I'd love to see with
the numbers on
with the
that.
trillions of dollars over the year that's probably been made on the lottery with the percentage they take.
Yeah.
Where is all the help to the schools?
Shit,
They
just the bath
always
I
talk
take on
about it.
scratch offs alone.
Oh, my
I could
God.
have funded a
Right?
elementary school.
You guys were very sweet on my birthday. You and Tooch bought, I don't know, $100 worth of lotto tickets and stuffed them in a card.
Yeah.
Right? We had dinner. We all scratched off lottery tickets. It's remarkable how much work it takes to do one of those $10 scratch offs.
Yeah.
And it's like, nothing? Really?
Yeah.
A whole fucking thing? I think I made $14 or something. It's like,
that's real money.
yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Taking a bath on all these.
Most of the time, I don't even fucking do it anymore. I just scratch the barcode on the bottom and I scan it with my app.
Can you do that?
It
Yeah.
just tells you what you won.
That's smart.
Just waiting for one of those to click up and be like, see retailer.
The winners wish to remain anonymous, and the Illinois Lottery said it was unable to share any information about the winners. Whether a winner can remain anonymous varies by state. Lottery officials said the two people have spent the past few weeks working with professional legal and financial advisors to support the claim process. One jackpot-winning ticket was bought at a Speedway gas station in Des Plaines. The winning numbers were, would you care to guess?
No. Okay. There's a lot of them.
13,
Oh, that's one of mine.
Is that one of yours?
My birthday.
36. You out
I'm out.
already?
I don't. Yeah.
45, 57, 67, and the Mega Ball's 14. So does it have to go in that order, and then the Mega Ball you have to hit?
Not in that. I mean that order, but those balls. There's only one of each number in that first draw, right?
Okay.
Not the gold ball or the power ball, whatever that one is.
Mega Ball.
Mega ball. So there's 1 through 80 or whatever the hell the numbers are, and they get drawn. So it can only each number can only come up once in there, but then that Mega Ball is a separate draw of 1 through 80 for that number as well.
Really? So if you matched all those numbers, but the 67 and the 14 Mega Ball were switched?
No, it doesn't. I mean,
So
you get something for matching numbers, and incrementally more and more. You get something. You could miss all the numbers and just hit the Mega Ball, and it's like $2 or $5 or something like that.
So if you hit all 6 numbers, but had the Mega Ball flipped with another number, you wouldn't win the billion or whatever?
Nope. The Mega Ball has to hit exactly. Wow. So to hit all of it, all the numbers have to hit. But it's 2 separate draws essentially. It's 1 through 80. I think. Yeah. I think that's the case because I think the gold ball. It might not be. I might be totally wrong, and people are screaming at me right now. But I thought that that's its own thing,
separate
too.
thing.
Yeah, because I
well,
think
it makes sense because they've got Mega Ball on its own shit. So obviously that.
But
matters.
it might be. I don't know that.
But you'd probably win at least $1 million, right? If you matched all 6 numbers, just didn't get the Powerball right.
It says what you win. I think that's basically it. I think it's $1 million if you hit them all and don't get the Mega. Yeah, I think it's $1 million.
Once a ticket ends up being a winner, lottery officials urge winners to sign the back of their ticket. Seek legal advice, and then make an appointment with the Illinois Lottery to claim their prize. Mm-hmm. In some states, the winner is forced to release the name of the winner, placing the newly wealthy in danger. But in Illinois, that's not the case. The largest Mega Millions jackpot was recorded at $1.537 billion in October of 2018, when an anonymous player in South Carolina claimed the prize. The last time a Mega Millions jackpot,
money.
Right? Can you imagine? Son of a bitch. Last time the Mega Millions jackpot broke $1 billion threshold was January 22nd of last year. Winning ticket was sold in Michigan, netting $1.050 billion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's crazy. You're talking about with a B.
I know.
Billion.
That's crazy.
Billion.
Remember when it was like 5 million?
Yeah.
It was like, holy shit, life
I love the people that are like, I don't bother playing until once it gets over 150 million. No, then I'll play.
Yeah.
Okay, Jackass.
I end up, when it gets to that billion and it's on every news article, it's on every TV, it's like, all right, I'd just be an idiot if I didn't buy one.
Yeah, I mean, I'll still get them once in a while, but your odds don't change. It's not like it's based on how many tickets are sold, like it's a raffle. Yeah. The more tickets that are sold, the lower your chances are.
Everybody knows your chances of winning the lottery are 50-50. Exactly. You either win or you lose.
Yep.
That's it.
Smart. Exactly.
Only 2 options. 50-50.
Right down the middle.
So, yeah. It's no big deal. Mm-hmm. All right. Should we get to some Vic Faust audio?
Oh, sure. I guess. Let's do that.
Were you pulling up a picture of him?
Oh, I Googled it earlier there, and where the hell is it? This one? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a lot out of order here. I just so I could see his face. And it was exactly who I thought he was. Yeah, he is who we thought he was.
So, yeah, okay. Yeah, I wish it wasn't bleeped, but anyway, St. Louis radio host raged that his female co-host was a terrible mom, trash, fat, stupid, in an off-air rant after she criticized his computer skills the day before. He wasn't using the Google machine fast enough. Okay.
She threw a little jab at him. Was this on air or is this off air?
I think the jab was on air.
So yeah, the ego was bruised. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Vic is a Fox 2 News anchor. So this is radio, but he's TV. So
yeah, this is just the audio of it.
Is that what's going on?
I think.
Okay. He went off in a rage-fueled sexist rant about his co-host Crystal Cooper while hosting a radio show September 13th. Okay. So he's doing a side gig too.
I got you.
His rampage criticized her parenting skills.
Yeah, showing 100.7.
Yeah.
Co-host. Okay.
He's going off about her. You don't want to bitch to a woman about her parenting skills.
Oh, it depends on her parenting skills.
Well, yeah.
It's generally not going to go well, but yeah.
Let's see. He brought up her parenting skills and her weight. Two absolute home runs with the ladies.
Yeah. I mean, listen, if you're going there, you come heavy.
Yeah.
Well,
you can't even argue this is like alcohol fueled fucking rant or you know what I mean? Like
this is pent up frustration.
Yeah.
Why do I have to do a show with this bitch?
Yeah. This is according to the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, who obtained audio recording of the off-air rant that happened during a commercial break. When Cooper told him this is the second time he has called her stupid, he angrily told her, "You were making fun of me while I was messing with the computer. You have a history of attacking me on air." God.
Mm-hmm.
Her Facebook page has since been updated to say she was a former host and her last day was September 13th when the show aired. And by the way, he was fired a few hours ago.
Just like that.
Yeah. Should we check it out? Sure. I apologize for the bleeping. I wish I could have this to you unedited.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how we all remember Vic Faust.
Yeah,
sure.
Exactly. I was going to...
God, these guys with their perfect hair and makeup and suits and the fucking perfect smile and everything's wonderful here in the lovely city of St. Louis or Detroit, wherever. And off air, this is what you get.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Wasn't. Listen, you're a fat nasty and you don't bring up on air when I have your back. You're a fat. I don't care if you're here or not.
Be like that, guys. Come on, man.
Serious?
I let it go yesterday.
But you called me stupid for the
Because
second
who
time.
brought up the stupid subject? You
wasn't a stupid
you
subject.
were making fun of me because I was dealing with the computer.
Chris was too. It wasn't just me.
No, he
Chris
wasn't.
was. Yes, he said, "Oh my God, it's going to be here in 3 weeks."
He didn't say anything on air.
Yes, he did. Go back and
You
listen.
have
He
a
was
history-
laughing when I
you
did
have a
it.
history of attacking me on air, and
No,
Chris
I
knows.
don't. You have a history of attacking me on air.
Don't you do?
You and your big fat looking at don't come back.
Really?
You start me to
You're
fuck
not
up,
my boss.
well,
I come.
and I'll call you a every day.
Okay, good
You're
for
a
you.
fat me.
That's me.
And every day that you come in this studio, I will call you what you are.
Oh,
Fat nasty bitch. And
Okay.
every day you have this job was because of me.
Stop.
okay.
Stop.
Wow.
I've told Chris
I
5 times about.
understand.
And by the way, I reported your nasty 5 times to Chris about what you do on this radio. You attack
What
me
have I done
constantly.
5 different times?
You've attacked me 4 or 5 times, and Chris said
I've
yes.
never attacked you. You've yelled at me twice, and this is the second time in break now.
The problem is that you
Commercials
think that
playing
whatever you do is right.
No, I don't.
Then shut-
I will
then
totally
shut
own
your
it. You're literally
You had
explaining
no
yourself.
reason to bring up it to attack me on air yesterday, and you did.
I did not attack you. Grow the
It-
up. Grow up.
You grow up, you fat.
Acting like an immature.
Fucking, you started. And you always have
It's
to try to
bad
get the last
radio
name.
when you keep bringing
It's
up your
bad
computer.
radio when you don't even know radio.
Yes, I do.
You're a dumb.
Okay.
Mom, you don't even know the topics we talk about because you're stupid.
Okay.
You think you're special because you went to Villa, but you're nothing.
Okay. I think you're talking about yourself.
Expensive high school.
You're trash.
You're trash.
Grow up.
You don't attack other people on air.
Sure
Don't
you do.
ever
You
do
do.
No,
it.
you wait till commercial break and
Yeah.
you fucking
Yes, you
berate
do.
them.
Example.
You tell Chris all the time.
Give me an example.
Yesterday, you
What?
made a comment about
was
how
my
it's
comment?
it's not the user, it's the owner.
No, who said that? No.
Yes, you did. Let's go
He
back
said
and
it
listen to the show.
me first, joking.
Yeah, so it was a joke. That's my
And
point.
that's why I said back
I
to
was
him.
joking too. Chill the out, dude.
No.
You seriously?
She's handling this way better than
She
him.
really is. I absolutely wholeheartedly agree.
Brendan, right?
She-
I think we get the message.
I definitely. And I mean, aside from her voice fucking making me want to punch her in the face.
Yeah, a little shrill.
She is absolutely right. And he looks like a total doucher.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
And just a child diva bitch.
Yeah.
And she handles it fine.
I mean, she doesn't say when he calls her a fat ass bitch with your
Yeah.
fat ass, your shitty whatever.
Everything. All of it. Yeah.
I mean,
she's just taking it. Like,
Yeah.
dude, are you kidding me? Fucking relax.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking bad. But you know, this is what you see with so many of these people.
Yep.
So many of these people, like the ego, the narcissism involved to even get into that line of work. It's just next. I
Right.
can't imagine talking to
Fragile.
a coworker like that, like at all. And I could tell you there was never, not one time was there a blowout like that in the Riff studio.
Yeah.
Never.
I know.
You know, behind each other's backs from time to time. But you know,
Not at commercial breaks.
no, not like that.
Yeah, not with hot mics around.
They ended up taking the show off the air. That's probably the hottest moment they've had on the show. They should fucking use that.
Yeah.
maybe people would tune in. Like, what is this fucking wild couple going to say?
Right.
It's been replaced with music programming.
Oh,
boring.
Yeah, well, it's, they don't have a host anymore, so.
Yeah. Vic Faust confirmed the clip, confirmed the audio recording had a lot of profanity. He also said there was further background on the fight, but declined to say anything more.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know that it matters.
Not really. No. It's not a good look.
Yeah, not good at all.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
It happens.
He looks soft.
Huh?
He looks soft.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he is. Yeah. Yeah, so many of those guys are like that.
Oh, yeah.
You get them off air and, you get the real version of them.
Sure. Hey, TDC's original sponsor, Zott Ford and Holly, is now taking custom orders for 2023 models. When you order, you still lock in the $1,000 rebate and 2.9% APR financing. Plus, Zott Ford's military trifecta is back. So if you're active or retired military, a veteran, first responder, or medical professional, and you buy, lease, or custom order a new ride, you're going to save an additional $1,000 over and above all the other incentives. Also, if you're sick of your current lease, let Kabar and the team waive up to 2 full payments and get you out of your lease early. Finally, your friends at Zott have a fair amount of cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock, and they're ready to go home with you today. So do not delay. Get details and see their delightful inventory at dealsinthed.com and tell them TDC sent you.
Please do. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee.
Billy?
Billy. Yep. Bill Lee, William Lee, has called for an investigation of the pediatric transgender clinic at Vanderbilt University Medical Center.
Right.
After videos posted by Matt Walsh, these I'd say are pretty fucking damning.
Okay.
I really would. Detailed the doctor's promotion of the big moneymaker, as in trans surgeries. The videos show apparent threats made against medical professionals at VUMC if they objected to the procedures.
They said the quiet part out loud, did they?
Yeah, they did. And they're making threats. Like, if you object to these procedures, even for religious reasons, this is not the place for you.
Okay.
So
Sure.
you're either cutting off tiny dicks and boring out vagine holes,
Yeah.
or you can fuck off.
This is the new COVID mob.
Yeah.
Get on board or get the fuck out of the way.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
See how well that one worked out.
This raises serious moral, ethical, and legal concerns, Lee said. We should not allow permanent, life-altering decisions that hurt children or policies that suppress religious liberties, all for the purpose of financial gain. We have to protect Tennessee children, and this warrants a thorough investigation. Well, here they are on camera. This was speaking at a, I don't know what it is, some trans clinic. They opened their clinic in 2018 during a lecture, blah, blah, explained how she convinced Nashville to get into the gender transition game. She emphasized that it's a big moneymaker. All right, let's hear it in her own words.
That's a good hard sell.
Yeah.
Starting in January 1st of 2017, according to the Affordable Care Act, insurance carriers are mandated to cover medical expenses for trans folks. Some of our VUMC financial folks in October of 2016, starting a couple of years ago, put down some costs of how much money we think each patient would bring in, and this is only including top surgery. This isn't including any bottom surgery.
Oh,
and
got
it's
there
a
yet.
lot of money. These surgeries make a lot of money. So female to male chest reconstruction can bring in $40,000. A patient just on routine hormone treatment, who I'm only seeing a few times a year, can bring in several $1,000s. So that requires a lot of visits and labs. It actually makes money for the hospital.
She's got a cunty little head bob
Now,
to
these are
her, too,
on
when
the
she says it.
internet, but it's from the Philadelphia Center for Transgender Surgery, which does a lot of surgery for patients. And I just want to give you an idea of how much these bottom surgeries are making. And I think this has to be an underestimate. This is for a vaginoplasty. They're quoting roughly around $20,000 for a vaginoplasty, but that doesn't include your hospital stay. That doesn't include your post-op visits. That doesn't include your anesthesia, your OR. So I would think that this has to be a gross underestimate. I think
Gross
that's just, like,
underestimate.
the
Yeah, we can make way more money than that.
Way more.
Anybody who's ever been in the hospital knows that
That's
like
just boring out the machine.
Yeah.
and then the female to male bottom surgeries, these are huge money makers. Again, I think this has to be an underestimate that they're quoting around $20,000 for a phalloplasty. There's been different things that I've read that said it could be up to $100,000.
$100,000 for a cockoplasty.
Dr.
Oh, yeah,
Winter,
why
who's
wouldn't
our
you?
surgeon, says that there's entire clinics where the entire clinic is supported just by their phalloplasties, and that is like a fraction of the surgeries that they're doing.
Just building
These
dicks.
surgeries are labor intensive. They require a lot of follow-ups. They require
Lots
a
of
lot of
follow-ups.
time, and they make money. They make
Lots
money
and lots of follow-ups because the dick doesn't work.
Yep. And they make lots of money, Troy.
Oh,
I mean,
they're
that's
big money makers.
Yeah, yeah.
That is that's horrifying.
Horrifying.
I mean, but it's not surprising. Sadly, and it's not even just that. It goes back to my point before of that hospitals should not be for profit.
No.
Period. End of story.
I know.
It is such a fucking conflict of interest.
Yeah.
It's just they're not. The
You
medical
and I were
field
talking
in general,
about it. Like, just as a small example, right? Herniated disc in my back that I've been dealing with, right? I got that epidural, and you were the one that told me, because there's different ways to go about it.
Yeah.
You can try PT, which they strongly recommend.
Yep.
Right out
And
the
most
gate,
insurance companies will make you do that first.
Exactly.
You have to exhaust that option
which I did.
before you can even consider any type of surgery or anything else, other treatment.
But then they kind of give you the option, like, well, would you like to speak to a surgeon or would you like to speak to a pain management specialist? My doctor recommended a pain management specialist. I didn't think anything of it. And you said, well, the pain management guy is going to want to exhaust everything that doesn't include surgery because that's what he does.
That's his business.
The surgeon is no chance in hell he's not going to recommend surgery for you because he's going to make the money off doing the surgery on you.
I went to both with the exact same situation.
Yep.
One didn't recommend surgery. Shocker. The pain management doctor. You know, no, let's just keep this machine going.
Right.
And keep you under my care for as long as possible. And then the other was the surgeon. Who, I mean, he didn't even see me in the office. It was a Zoom fucking call. It was over COVID. On a Zoom call, I had to get up and walk back and forth so he could see me walk.
Sure.
And was like, yeah, immediately. Yeah, we'll do the surgery. I'll make you good as new. No problem, for sure.
Yeah.
I was like, the fuck, dude? Like, you should at least put hands on me. I
Right.
think. So, you know what I mean?
Right,
Like, just something weird about that. It just triggered. It was like, okay, now I get it.
Yeah.
You're going to say that because that's your fucking business. You're going to say that because that's your business.
It's just,
and it just makes you wonder, you know, what's real? What's my best course of action? I would just love somebody to be in it. I'm not saying all doctors are that way. Fucking a lot of them are.
Yeah.
Because that's your bread and butter.
Right.
You know, a surgeon's not going to go, yeah, you know, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's gross negligence, you know, and you clearly don't need it.
Yeah.
You know, of course. But if it's either way, of course they're going to recommend surgery.
Right.
Of course.
You know, I had this.
And they're not going to be like, yeah, you should have surgery, but, you know, I'm probably not the guy for it.
Right.
You know, you should go somebody else.
Bill Mahalski.
He's way better. Dude.
Dr. Mahalski's the
he's
shit.
the best.
I always had this, you know, just trust and belief. Like, well, these guys went to medical school. It's a lot of years and hard work and dedication to get to this level and be a professional. That it was like I swear to God, naively, I just thought whatever decision was being made was in the best, you know, interest of the patient. And that is so not the case. It's just not. We learned it during the pandemic, especially when they didn't give a fuck how many tens of thousands of people had myocarditis. You know, when you're giving 16-year-old boys and you're seeing those numbers come in, and they were fucking guilt and shame free. You couldn't fucking go after them at all.
Nope.
You know, they had emergency use authorization, which is why what shitbag President Dementia said the other day on 60 Minutes is so troubling.
Yeah.
When he's like, oh, yeah, the pandemic's over. And they're scrambling to back that up because.
Like, no, we just got it approved for 6 months.
Yeah.
6 months plus, man.
Yeah.
We're
still shooting
in
up
this.
babies, asshole. What is President Dementia doing?
Right.
You know, you don't need the emergency use if it's not a pandemic anymore. It's a whole lot of problems there when they can be held liable for their actions.
They don't have actual FDA approval.
Right. No, they don't. No matter how many times Jen Psaki told you they did, they didn't.
They want to use that cute wording.
So this asshole here at this podium, this smug cunt of a doctor, or whatever the hell she is, that sounds horrific. This is Dr. Frankenstein type shit.
Yeah, this is,
and all she cares about that whole 2-minute speech is about the money. How much money?
To the board. This has nothing to do with.
Yeah,
that's the problem with it. It just really is. Money should not be the issue.
Yeah,
should not be the goal. Care above all should be the goal.
Yeah,
and it's not.
And those doctors are shamed and shut out of the business.
Yeah,
my cardiologist, you know, He's a well-respected fucking heart surgeon and is basically shoved out the door because he wasn't agreeing with all this crap. He wouldn't play ball.
On the wrong team.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah. So at another medicine grand rounds lecture, staffers are warned by Vanderbilt health law expert Ellen Clayton that any conscientious objection will be met with consequences and are told they probably shouldn't be working at the hospital if they don't want to participate in the trans surgeries, which include minor patients. Should we check her out?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, this all comes off really well, guys.
Ellen.
Looking good, Vanderbilt.
If you are going to assert conscientious objection, you have to realize that that is problematic. You are doing something to another person, and you are not paying for the cost for your belief. I think that is a real, I think that's a real issue. So, so I think, so yes, Vanderbilt, if someone has a conscientious objection to participating in this sort of surgery, it probably has to accommodate you to the extent that you can find another person who can do your job, who doesn't have an objection, other things of that nature. But I just want you to take home that saying that you're not going to do something because of your conscientious, because of your religious beliefs, is not without consequences. And it should not be without consequences. And I just want to put that out there. We are
a little threat, little warning.
If you don't want to do this kind of work, don't work at Vanderbilt. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, sure. That obviously goes both ways, doesn't it? I mean, if you don't believe something, it's that there's consequences, right?
Sure.
Generally?
Sure.
Yeah, it has to go both ways, wouldn't it?
Right. You would think. That's
It's troubling. It's scary.
It's terrifying is what it is. I don't even know what to make of it because it wasn't even a discussion 3 years ago, 4 years ago, like mainstream anyways.
No, exactly.
And these people aren't even trying to hide it anymore.
It's a blitzkrieg.
It is a
going
blitzkrieg.
on. It's got you spinning, and before you can figure out which way's up, it's too late.
Yeah. Yep.
And you got people like this that are running these institutions.
It's
it was the schools was first, kind of like that.
Yeah.
If you're not on board, you got to go.
Yeah.
And they were just whittling people out, just getting rid of the squeaky wheels.
yeah.
I go back to the
Swimming.
swimming. Yep.
Yeah,
with Leah Thomas, the
President of the
exactly that came out against it.
Yeah.
Stepped down, was like, no, dude, you have to stay in that position.
Yeah, we need frontline soldiers.
Yeah, we need you in that position. It's too the whole point is for you getting out of there so they can just put a fucking another puppet in your place, and then it's no longer a problem.
For most people, it's really, really hard to take the backlash and stand in there. Stand in that. It seems like the whole world is against you when you're getting attacked like that.
And that's we've talked about that too, where it was the onesie twosies, the whack-a-mole theory. As soon as one person stuck their head up, they got whacked back down. Well, so it needs to be a collective rise. Enough people have shown the balls, the nerve to stand up and speak their mind.
Yeah.
But it needs to be collectively, not the whack-a-mole style.
We've seen this too often where people that do stand up, like it used to be a pride thing. Like you stood up for what was right in the face of backlash. You stood on your morals. You stood on your ethics. You stood for something.
Yeah.
And now it's like, how do I keep my job? I know this is wrong. I know this is insane, but I've got a new Porsche and a fucking expensive mortgage, and I can either say what I know to be true about how absolutely devastating this is going to be for God knows how many tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. God only knows.
Yeah.
And for a profit grab,
it's
pathetic.
It's
and
pretty
sad.
pretty heavy leverage that they have.
Yeah.
In that situation.
Vanderbilt Psychiatry YouTube channel reveals the medical center explicitly admits that they will give and have given irreversible hormone drugs to children as young as 13. So let's review. Vanderbilt got into the gender transition game, admittedly in large part because it's very financially profitable. Then they threatened any staff members who objected and enlisted a gang of trans activists to act as surveillance in order to force compliance. They now castrate, sterilize, and mutilate minors as well as adults, while apparently taking steps to hide this activity from public view. This is what healthcare has become in modern America.
That is horrifying.
Horrifying.
And it's not wrong. That is what modern medicine is becoming.
Yeah. I had another video. You know, I don't feel like the audio's coming through that great on these, things. But the author of the new WPATH guidelines, right? The world, what is it? A pediatric trans, blah blah blah, whatever that bullshit is. WPATH.
Yep.
We've been talking about. They got their new guidelines. Revealed that they have called Child Protective Services on uncooperative patients.
Oh.
An author of this, right?
Okay. Uncooperative patients.
Uncooperative parents.
Parents. There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say
Yep.
that's odd. Just lay on the table. We're
Yeah.
we're boring that hole.
Yeah.
Don't say no. You already signed the papers.
So your 12-year-old says they're trans. Dad goes, I don't think so. Mm-hmm. These people writing up the rules,
CBS.
calling Child Protective Services on parents who do not affirm their child's newly chosen trans identity.
Yeah, they consider it child abuse.
Yeah.
Odd. How? Wow. What we consider child abuse.
Dr. Ren Massey, a trans-identified female clinical child psychologist from Atlanta, Georgia, revealed during a Q&A that calling Child Protective Services is a resource for clinicians to enforce the need for affirmation by parents. He goes as far as to suggest that merely informing parents that a call to CPS can be made might be enough pressure to make them cooperate. Who the fuck are these people?
It's the end of
Think
times.
about it with your kids, Troy. Honest to God.
No, I don't want to.
Your kids are older than us. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
Think about when your kids were 10, 11, 12, what mush-brained fucking retards they were. Not yours, all of them. Okay, sure. But think about what, their attitude, their opinion changes as the wind does.
Yep.
Like, they're morons.
I know. And
Some fucking creepy, agenda-driven, profit-driven asshole at a doctor
knows
is going to
better.
claim to know your kids better than you.
know what's best and is in
Holy
their best
shit.
interest. Yeah, no, it's criminal, is what it is. Really, it's criminal. It should be.
Their new guidance also suggests that parental consent for minors to obtain medical treatments are recommended but not required, and that the state may intervene when a parent refuses to affirm their child's transgender identity. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's. I don't even know. I'm literally almost speechless in this.
I know.
It's. There is no words. There's no take on
Well,
that. There's
you
just
got out unscathed underneath this. Imagine having nieces and nephews that are 5 and 7, right now.
Yep.
God only knows, man, what they're going to encounter in school. From it probably doesn't take much.
Yeah.
There's some absolute rainbow-colored hair with rainbow glasses talking about her second grade class. It was on the Libs of TikTok the other day, and how half the class has come out. Since she's been very open.
Of course, now
with
they're all
her-
exactly.
they're-
Oh, it's weird. It's
Yeah.
amazing, right?
Crazy.
And she thinks that she's liberating them.
Yeah.
And not contaminating them.
indoctrinating them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's incredible.
Yep.
18-year-old, and you don't get enough of these stories. These stories are hard to come by, but an 18-year-old detransitioned woman gave powerful testimony on yesterday, against the gender-affirming model of care that led to her irreversible medical transition as an adolescent. Her name is Chloe Cole. She spoke at a press conference in front of the White House in support of probably one of the most hated representatives, Marjorie Taylor Greene,
yes.
who's got a new bill, the Protect Children's Innocence Act, that aims to shield minors from accessing permanent body and life-altering medical treatments they may later come to regret. Kids never regret the decisions they make when they're young.
No, never.
I mean, historically, anyways. How did we get to the point where nearly every pediatric institution in the country considers it best practice to remove the healthy titties of children while administering drugs typically used to chemically castrate high-risk sex offenders? She said, Cole said, of the widespread acceptance of radical gender theory in medicine driving gender-affirming care, which effectively puts children in the driver's seat to dictate the terms of their own sex change. I believe Americans deserve to know the truth about the radical and perverse ideology marketed as necessary and life-saving health care. Over the past decade, there has been as high as a 1,000% increase in children being referred to so-called gender clinics around the U.S.
Yeah.
I was one of those children. A recent UCLA survey found, and this is a little, makes you think, huh? Survey found the number of trans-identified teens has doubled in the last 5 years to about 300,000 in the United States alone, while the rates of adults identifying as transgender have remained the same.
No. Weird how that trend is
Isn't that crazy?
changing like that. Yeah.
Huh.
What could possibly affect numbers like that?
Wait, kids are more easily influenced by peer pressure? No, that couldn't be.
No, that can't be it.
That doesn't make sense.
No.
Yeah. I can't put my finger on
People
that.
that they look up to as role models.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
No.
It's just, it must just be nature. What are you going
guess
to do?
so, yeah.
I mean,
Yep. It's
Yeah.
the way of the world. What are you gonna do?
only a handful of.
At this rate, well, everyone will just be trans.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, if you extrapolate that number out exponentially, then
Sure.
we'll all just be trans.
Give it a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Give it a couple weeks. Only a handful of pediatric gender clinics existed in the United States a decade ago. Now over 200 have spawned. So this is the opioid crisis all over again.
Yep.
Pain clinics pop up on every fucking block.
Yep.
Yeah,
we
sure.
Dick
Why-
clinics.
And why was that? Money. They could make fuckloads of money. They didn't care about people's health.
Nope.
They didn't care how many people they killed. They still don't.
Nope.
And it's still profit margins.
Yep.
Get your money.
Bottom line, they have a board to answer to.
Yeah.
They all do.
Yep.
That's what's fucking fundamentally wrong with the whole system.
The whole thing.
All of it.
Cole's story documents how she was introduced to gender ideology online at 11 years old. Not an impressionable age at 11.
Not at all.
She's gone through that.
No,
phase.
she wouldn't possibly be awkward and uncomfortable in her own skin at any point in time.
Right,
during
especially
those
as a
years.
girl at
Yeah,
11. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Awkward.
Yeah.
It's,
So that led to her self-identification as a trans boy at 12 years old. She was prescribed puberty blockers and testosterone at 13, received a double titty removal surgery at 15. Whew. All at the behest of gender-affirming medical professionals who she says emotionally blackmailed their parents into giving their consent. The gender clinic presented my parents with a classic false dichotomy regarding children with gender dysphoria. Would you rather have a dead daughter or a live son?
Oh, yeah. It's a classic.
Yeah.
You
Given these options, what loving parent wouldn't choose to transition their child? This was not informed consent. It was a decision forced under extreme duress. Cole divulged the shocking circumstances that contributed to her medical transition at 15. I went under the knife for a radical double mastectomy. This was after I was sexually assaulted at school by a male student. I told myself to man up, but I lived my life in constant hatred of my titties. She attempted to flatten her titties by doing the chest binding, which led to her breasts and rib cage becoming deformed. I didn't know you could mash them enough to deform them.
I guess when they're trying to grow, if you don't give them room to grow,
Yeah.
wear shoes that are too small.
Yeah. Oh,
feet
the
get
binding
off.
the feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. I wonder. I don't even know if she had a nice set going or
Yeah,
what.
well,
I mean,
who
it's
knows?
hard.
They're gone now.
They're gone. Yeah, pulled them right out of there.
Never to be seen again.
So yeah,
Never to be groped again.
yeah, never to be groped again. Don't have to worry about it now. She got them zipper titties, probably. And I don't think you're allowed to say that. They get offended at that. But
Well, I mean,
sorry.
well, if you're going to do that, at least make them that way so that when you change your mind, you can bloop, bloop, pop them back in.
Yeah, it's not the same though.
I know it's not the same, but it's
Just
better
not
than
the
none.
same. I was afraid and couldn't wait to finally protect my body from the threat of further molestation. Only 1 year after her double titty remover at 16, she realized she'd made oopsie. I made an oopsie.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
This is lifelong now.
I realized the beauty of motherhood was stolen from me by medical professionals who my family entrusted me to. I realized after maturing a bit more that a child does not, in fact, know who they are at 12 years old. What? Since when?
Crazy.
Huh.
You know who knew that?
Huh.
Everyone over the age of fucking 12.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I wonder when that changed, because I feel like I knew who I was when I was 12.
Yeah.
Just,
obviously.
obviously evolved into that person.
And clearly, everyone that's on that side in the alphabet community clearly knew who they were.
Sure.
At that.
Sure.
And I'm not even to throw the whole alphabet community into there because this is a different breed.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's
This has nothing to do with
it's
lesbian,
one thing to be,
gay, bi.
exactly. Yeah.
It's
that's
the T that we have a problem with.
basically.
Yeah. It's the T and then all the trickle down bullshit. I don't know what all that is. I don't
Every
really
other
don't
letter
care.
that they're adding on there
Yeah.
daily.
Unmonitored internet access and exposure to alphabet content on Instagram at 11 years old introduced her to gender ideology. I saw the unbelievable amounts of praise and attention they got online, and subconsciously I yearned to have a piece of it.
Yeah, that's a common theme.
Common story. We've heard it firsthand right here in these this very studio. With every milestone in my medical transition, I was given more and more attention and celebration. It was the ultimate high. Much of this gender confusion is based on old aggressive stereotypes of men and women, which are now being reinforced with hormones and surgeries. Women can have short hair and be interested in playing sports. Men can grow their hair out and wear makeup. It does not change their biology. There are many detransitioners speaking out, and they are ignored by the institutions most responsible for the search of truth. Up until today, most politicians on the left and right have done nothing but get into Twitter fights on this issue. Marjorie Taylor Greene's Protect Children's Innocent Act, House Bill 8731, would make any individual in the state of Bama who knowingly performs gender-affirming care on a minor, including puberty blockers, hormones, they would be guilty of a Class C felony, facing a prison sentence up to 25 years and a $250,000 fine. It was too late for me, and time is running out for these children. There is no second chance at childhood. We must do our best as adults to guide our children to pathways that lead to healthy bodies and minds instead of depression and disfigurement. Amen.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be there's got to be middle ground. Like, it can't just be illegal, right? I mean, because we talk about like the puberty blockers and all that.
Yeah.
If it's a legitimate case, then that's the right way to do it. But if there's no way of knowing whether it's going to actually pan out, whether there's going to be buyer's remorse on that or not.
Yeah.
And not every transition is regrettable. Many are not.
Right.
And ones that are not regrettable.
Well, be honest about the ones that are and the ones
well,
that
no,
aren't.
exactly
You know what I mean?
my
Like,
point. No,
that's-
but so the ones that are not regrettable would benefit from the earlier transitions. It's not lost on me.
Yeah.
But where we're at now in this society, in this mainstream fucking blitzkrieg attack on this going on, that it's just not real. It's not sustainable. It's not realistic.
No.
It's fake. And so by doing it now in this mass is doing it wrong. You're doing way more damage than good.
Yeah.
But to ban it, outlaw it, make it illegal is not necessarily.
Well, that's talking about at a certain age.
Well, no, I understand
what I mean?
but but that's my point. Is that the ones that are legitimate would benefit from having it at that age, right?
Right.
You don't want to be an ugly, manly-looking chick.
Yeah, you don't want to look like Rick Levine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how you differentiate that? I'm not acting like I know or that there's any right or wrong.
But we could both agree that there's not a 4,000% increase.
No, 100% no. But it's also not zero.
Yeah, sure.
So that's why I say there's got to be middle ground there between it being mainstream and being outlawed. Somewhere in the middle, and I don't know how you get there. I don't know how you differentiate between, because there is no way to know. But I think you can.
It seems like there are a lot of parents.
There can be a much more rigorous vetting system, counseling system that you have to go through to be able to get to that point.
Well, how many have we seen? Like, remember the Disney executives? Where it's like, oh my God, my 2-year-old is trans, and
your parents groom you from
4-year-old is
birth.
non-binary, and they're so happy, and they want to incorporate. Like, these are people that are not. They're begging for a way to be part of that team, and doing it with toddlers.
Yeah,
and that is, if that's not child abuse, I don't know what is. I mean, like, I'd rather be beaten by my parents, bruises heal, cutting my dick off doesn't.
That's correct.
Right? Yeah. So I can get over the physical abuse. I got my ass whooped by my dad, from whatever. My mom beat me with a wooden spoon from time to time.
Yeah.
Those fucking scars will go away. But plucking titties out of a fucking 13-year-old?
Well,
holy Jesus, man.
For the amount of regret of people that had it done, there's probably an equal amount of regret of people that didn't do it sooner, too.
An equal amount? I don't know about that.
Okay.
Talk
to the Rick Levines of the world. that are just ugly
Rick
fucking
Levine's
women.
career is skyrocketed by
I
becoming
understand
a
it,
woman.
what I'm saying, but they're just not passable. They're not believable.
Yeah, at all.
If you actually want to live that life in another,
Here's the problem I have with so much of this. Why I felt it was important to read that story about Chloe Cole. Those stories are out there, but they're not featured.
Of course not.
They're not
They're buried.
shown. They're buried. They're shadow banned. They're whatever. There was
very
there was
intentionally buried.
Right.
I mean, they're not just not promoted.
So
they're buried.
so in other words, they're not giving you the opportunity to see both sides of something like, oh shit, I hadn't even thought about this. I'm thinking about the immediate happiness of my child who's 7 and has a weird fucking kindergarten teacher who's popping shit in her head.
I don't even need the stories, though. I mean, just my common sense tells me that I know it's there.
But those stories, when you see them in person and when you hear their voice of a sweet young girl, and you see her with her titties,
Scott
and they pull
Nugent.
them out, yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
with the bitch hips and all that, like you can't.
Yes.
Like I went down a rabbit hole. I was watching videos. There was a girl who was like documenting her whole transition, and everyone's praising her and loving her, and then she realizes, oops, she had great fucking titties.
That's too
Gone.
bad. Tragic.
And her voice was just like this, just a lady now because she got on those hormones. That'll never come back. So she's permanently talking like this, permanently lost her titties.
And it's horrifying. She realized, well, holy fuck, I didn't even know who I was. And we went through all this. That stuff's not easy to find. It's like there was a series of videos. It started small, and it was a segment. And I don't care what your politics are. It's regardless. But it was why I left the left. And people would document. They would just put a camera on themselves. They would go, here's what I believed, and they would tell these these wild 5-minute, 10-minute stories about their personal experience with the left and why I decided to leave this group.
What was their
fraudulent.
final straw? What was there too much?
Lots of people of color that feel they were lied to, and this is bullshit. It's a scam. They fucking, for whatever reason, these people got up to like 500,000 followers, thousands of videos, hundreds of videos of people, and it's getting a stronghold. It's kind of like libs of TikTok. They fucking blew them out, blew the account out.
Really?
All the videos.
No
gone.
shit.
Gone. Why? They weren't swearing. They weren't saying anything. They were
Shouldn't
just
have
like,
violated any policies.
No, blown out. Now, can you go onesie twosies and find those? Maybe.
Yeah.
But this compact growing site where, just, hey, this is just people sending in their videos, man. We're just posting videos of the reality
you're not suggesting
of them.
that there's any sort of grand censorship going on.
Right. That's where it
impossible.
feels unfair. Where it's like, okay, if you wanna have this debate,
Let's have a real, open, honest debate
yeah,
about it.
It should pop up with just as many transition success stories as detransition horror stories.
Yep.
You
want to hide
shouldn't
behind it.
hide
If
them.
this is your religious belief, or you're so close-minded and you're
Right.
a transphobe or whatever, like, no.
Yeah.
How about we just look at some data?
And think about the amount of videos that have to get yanked.
Yeah.
It's now private. It's deleted. From a university that's doing these things, you're probably speaking from a podium. What you didn't know the general public was going to catch wind of it,
Oh, they were hoping.
or that
Outside their bubble, man.
yeah, they're hoping. You didn't think vigilantes like Matt Walsh are going to fucking find this shit, or tipsters aren't going to fucking secretly record it,
Yep.
and then the whole world's going to see what you're talking about in these meetings? That's horrifying what we watched earlier.
Nothing's private anymore.
No.
Nothing.
No.
I mean, just think of your phones, your messages, your phone calls,
Yeah.
everything that you do. I mean, is all there.
Yeah.
There's nothing scrubbed
Yeah.
anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so for people to think on any level that they can get away with anything anymore is comical.
You bring up an interesting point earlier about, and I fully understand that too. When you're talking about the trans community and people that want to be passable, it's basically just about a look. You know what I mean?
Essentially.
Like that's really all it is. And if you can nip that early, and I want to be as fair as I can. It seems like monstrous procedures done on children that are way too impressionable to be going down this road, period. But in fairness, for that whatever percentage it is, and I don't know how small that percentage it is.
Or how big it is. That's the problem. There's no real data on this.
I don't buy it. I don't buy that there's a large number of people that feel this way. I believe someone like Caitlyn Jenner, who was, you know, has been dealing with this since she was
So you think that most people that do it regret it? You think that's the majority? That can't.
We
can't
don't know yet.
possibly. I
We don't
understand that,
know
but
yet.
You can't possibly think that it's the majority of people.
I wouldn't be surprised at all.
I would.
Really?
Yeah, I would.
No, I
mean, I guess depending on what demographic you're talking about. If you're only talking about the 13 to
oh no,
the
I'm not
ones that
talking
do it,
about the 40
overall
that decides to do it.
you know,
No. If someone goes in at 30 and decides to come out,
I'd be
like,
surprised
whatever.
if it's the majority. I'd be surprised. I mean, it's probably a pretty substantial number. Which
When
is
we're talking about kids, you don't think it's the majority that would regret it later?
maybe. I mean, that's why I said
that's
if
all
you're
I'm
talking about you're talking about that demographic. Yeah, there's no way that it's the number it is now. No, not even fucking close.
Right.
That wholeheartedly. But that's a different. I don't know. It's the end of times. It's it really is. I don't even recognize this fucking planet anymore.
Yeah, I
I
know.
really don't.
I know.
It's like common sense is just gone.
Well,
It's
I wonder,
non-existent.
do you believe that any of these people are acting in good faith? That's the troubling part I'm coming to. Like, I
do.
always gave so much respect to doctors and stuff. And is it that they're trying to be so helpful and be on the right side of history and not discriminate?
I do think there are a lot of people like that, and I think that they're being manipulated.
Yeah.
I think they're not the ones that are calling the shots. They're the ones that think they're doing, the Lord's work. Mm-hmm. Because that's what they're told is what they're supposed to be doing, and that's
Right.
what you're supposed to believe, and that's so.
Do you think there's a big difference between an ER surgeon and a plastic surgeon?
A big difference. How so?
How so? In that one, I think is helping humanity in an emergency situation, and one will put a fucking ear on your cheek for the right price.
Well,
One's gonna be in a $10 million house and have 15 Porsches, and
ER doctors don't do too bad themselves.
no, they don't. But
Coming
You
out
can't
of
look at the work
coming out
itself.
of medical school, probably not. I mean, maybe. I'm sure people that go into more of the plastic surgery are probably a little more money oriented than
Yeah.
doing the greater good,
Right.
than saving lives. You know,
Right.
if that's the area you choose to go into, you
Yeah.
know, it's not for the love of mankind
Mm-hmm.
of why you're doing it.
And not that there's not a place for plastic surgeons.
course,
You're
of
talking about
course.
skin grafts, and you've got some magician of a surgeon who's able to put a fucking disfigured face back together.
But the ones that
Fine.
are just running these titty shops,
Yeah,
just
the ones
and-
in Beverly Hills, just floating fucking
Yeah.
old bitches with collagen.
Exactly.
You know,
That's just
and
a money grab.
It's just a money grab, pure and simple. They're making $100,000 a month,
Sure.
to just make these women look hideous.
and that's different. I mean, but an ER doctor works for the hospital.
Yeah,
Right? So it's the hospital that's making the financial decisions on what surgeries they have to do. He doesn't get to choose the surgeries. He has to perform the surgeries.
Right.
But those decisions are being made for him or her,
or sure.
for them.
Yeah.
Plastic surgeons, generally, now you're talking about private practice
Yep.
where you're in control of what and cases you take and what you do and how you handle it. It's a very different beast. So
Yeah.
there's much more similarities between plastic surgeons and hospital boards, I would imagine,
Yeah.
than the ER surgeons.
Yeah. Have you ever talked to Alicia about any of this stuff?
No,
I'd love because
I would
she's
love.
a
Actually,
pediatrician.
she is, and
I would
she's
love to get your
religious.
sisters.
So I'm assuming she's probably more against it.
Yeah.
But
But I'd love to, if you ask her, I'd love to see what she thinks. Like if people are operating in good faith, or if this is just a pure money grab, like it sounds like at Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
I mean, they made it crystal clear. Like, if you've got any objections, you can fuck off and leave now.
Yeah.
I don't even care if it's religious. I don't care how grounded you are in your morals, your beliefs. You don't belong here if you're not willing to take this cash grab with us.
Right.
I'd be
even with her,
interested in, Alicia's.
she has a great heart.
Yes,
I believe she
all
does.
most pediatricians
She
do.
has done it for the right reasons. She got into it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Everything she's done. But even with that, it becomes it's still a job,
Yeah.
and it's still your source of income, right? So she has her own practice.
Yeah.
Well, now it's more of a business
Yeah.
than then it's more about the business than it is about helping the people. And I'm not saying she's fucking anybody over or she's doing anything wrong.
But she's running a business. I'm
just saying that's what it boils down to, that you're running a business.
Right.
And there's checks and balances to that.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying a negative word about her. I'm not saying
no.
that she's ever done anything unethical and on any level, but she is running a business.
I think pediatricians, they're a special breed. They're a different breed. You know what I mean? That's not where you're going to make $10 million a year.
Yep.
Like
right.
But it's where you're caring for the most vulnerable, the most innocent, little kids, and,
exactly.
and like they're the types of people that get into nursing and pediatrics and you remember those doctors when you were a little kid that just treated you like a kid and gave you a lollipop.
I don't think she ever got COVID either, by the way.
Really?
I don't think so.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Wild how that works.
Speaking of COVID.
No. Sagui.
Yeah, how about that for a Sagui? Dr. St. Lord Fauci.
Yes.
Has been labeled an egomaniac.
Well, fuck. Yeah. We already knew that.
By former White House colleague in a new book.
In other news, water is wet.
Water is wet. The COVID czar mocked people for following pandemic regulations that he implemented. Brian Morgenstern, a former White House deputy press secretary, discusses his time inside the White House in his book Vignettes and Vino. Morgenstern
that's adorable.
refers to Fauci as awful and an egomaniac while recalling moments when the director of the NIAID, whatever the shit. I vividly recall my blood boiling during an infuriating meeting in the Roosevelt room of the White House when Fauci laughed about his own goggles comment, making it clear how cynical he was and he could get people to believe anything. He went on to laugh about how ass backwards it was that people entered a restaurant wearing a mask, then sat down and conversed with people without a mask.
Yeah, no shit.
No shit, asshole. Wow.
Right.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all knew that was ridiculous.
I don't need an MD for that. My PhD in common sense told me all that shit.
Of course, he wasn't saying things to that effect publicly, just laughing privately at the American rubes he was fooling. In a July 2020 interview with ABC News, Fauci urged, if you have goggles or an eye shield, you should use it. After a follow-up question of whether eye protection would be formally recommended, Fauci responded that it might if you really want perfect protection of the mucosal surfaces.
Of course.
Yeah.
But earplugs, too.
Sure.
Should put a cork in your dick hole.
Yeah.
Make sure nothing can get in there.
Nothing. Yep.
Well, no mask, one mask, two masks, no masks.
In August 22, Fauci joked about having cooked up COVID-19 in his kitchen during an interview with friend and colleague Dr.
Well, it wasn't
Larry
his kitchen.
Corey.
It was, Wuhan.
Wuhan. But he funded it.
It's basically his kitchen.
When he's not murdering beagles slowly,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's yucking it up. What a yuckster. The little fucking troll midget. I hate this guy so much. He's fucking garden gnome. Fuck. Corey noted.
Oh, don't worry. He's stepping down. He's stepping away.
Yeah, at 81.
Yeah,
get on to the next chapter in his life.
Because he knows the fucking heat's coming.
Yeah, I hope they bury this dude. And they're not going to put him in jail. He's on the right team.
Right.
They won't do anything. Nothing will happen to him. But I hope his reputation is destroyed as much as it deserves to be.
That's better than jail.
Yeah. Corey noted that as they were in Washington State, they were at the epicenter of the initial outbreak where the ancestral model strain that traveled with someone from Wuhan, China to Seattle was first seen in America. Fauci piped in with a joke. No, I developed the ancestral model strain. I created it. The whole room starts laughing.
Oh, Tony. No.
With Corey responding, that's right, you let it loose. 59% of independent voters believe Lord Fauci should resign his position and role in leading the government's COVID-19 response to allow for new leadership. Morgenstern said he remembers how Fauci introduced the American public to COVID-19 in early 2020. Fauci said the virus was nothing to worry about for the American people. Then in the months that followed, he said that people should not wear masks and that they were ineffective. By June or July, he changed his tune and said everyone should be very concerned. They should wear multiple masks and goggles. In a talk with Jay Morrison, the senior VP of the Center for Strategic and International Studies, Fauci said, we are not where we need to be with COVID-19. His comments came one day after President Dementia said the pandemic is over. Big problem. We're much better off now for a number of reasons that you mentioned, but we are not where we need to be if we're going to be able to, quote, live with the virus, because we know we're not going to eradicate it. Yeah, the White House then walked back Soup's statement. The president's comments do not mark a change in policy toward the administration's handling of the virus, and there are no plans to lift the public health emergency. Well, no shit. That turns off the gravy train.
Nobody wants that.
Yeah, you can't do that. Zero consequences, liability, non-existent. You got to walk that back. Oh, we're not lifting anything. No.
Of course not.
No.
It's not over.
Can't have that.
Hey, whatever you're going to read,
Yeah.
that's brought to you by
All right.
your insurance expert. Are you paying too much for health insurance?
Yep.
Are you uninsured?
Yep.
Health insurance can be confusing. Nick fucking Matthews, your insurance expert, is expert in health insurance, life insurance, and Medicare supplements, so you don't have to be. Call Nick Matthews at 248-914-1173. That's 248-914-1173.
Very good. You're a fan of music.
I am.
I like music.
Good
You like
music.
a good tune.
Yeah, I like good music.
Yeah. Well, I've got some good music.
Do you?
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's a new hit song coming out. It's called Semper Supra.
Semper Supra? Mm-hmm. Is that like Semper Fi?
No, but it's the new song for the United States Space Force. They revealed their official song, and it should rev the engines of any red-blooded American patriot. Do those exist anymore?
Oh, listen, it better be better than Team America, because that just gets my blood pumping.
Yeah, that does.
Fuck
America, fuck yeah. Coming again to save the motherfucking day.
Yeah.
America.
Fuck yeah.
Not only is it a great new tradition, so every branch of the military has their song.
Okay.
And the Space Force, which got mocked without mercy,
Yeah.
because Trump came up with it.
Of course.
This is Trump's thing. And so Jen Psaki's like, oh, that's adorable, like brushed it off. The whole soup administration
Yeah.
blew it off. In February 21, a reporter asked Psaki about the future Space Force, including whether President Dementia wanted to keep it. Wow, Space Force. It's the plane of today. It's an interesting question. I'm happy to check with our Space Force point of contact. I'm not sure who that is. I'll find out and see if we have any update on that.
This bitch.
Yeah, Mike Rogers demanded that Psaki apologize for the remark. It's concerning to see the Soup administration's press secretary blatantly diminish an entire branch of our military as the punchline of a joke, which
Yep.
I'm sure China would find funny. The Space Force was passed with near unanimous support in Congress, the same type of unity President Soup is supposedly working towards. Psaki needs to immediately apologize to the men and women of the Space Force for this disgraceful comment. Of course, Americans now know that unity was a farce when it came to Soup, and he considers MAGA Republicans to be threats to democracy itself.
Oh.
The song, let's see, Semper Supra was co-created by James Tichenor, former member of the U.S. Air Force Band at the Air Force Academy. The song was a long work in progress because I wanted to encompass all the capabilities that the Space Force offers and its vision. Chief of Space Operations General John J. Raymond assisted in the development of the new battle hymn after President Trump created Space Force. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to establish a Space Force song that will be part of our culture and heritage for years to come. Our traditions are part of the fabric that weave us all together as we execute our missions side by side. I will be proud to sing Semper Supra alongside my fellow Guardians. They say for cynics it sounds silly, but stuff like this matters for the nation's morale and self-esteem. Advancing the idea of American exceptionalism is a noble one. It's important that we pass on to the next generation of Americans the notion that our country has done, can do, and will do great things that better mankind. All right. So, what do you think? Are your hopes high?
Yeah, I mean, they're not high. Like, I don't think I'm going to get up and, like, dance to this thing or anything, but we'll see. We'll
Like,
see.
the Marine Corps hymn is badass.
Yeah.
You know?
I can't picture any of them in my head right now.
In
Any
the
of-
Navy.
That-
Da-da-da-da. In the Navy.
Yeah,
That's the Navy theme song.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Got it.
Air Force, I don't know what theirs is about.
I don't know.
But,
Let's hear it, man.
Okay.
Let's get it. Let's get right into
Semper Supra, which means I
it.
should tell
This
you.
theme song is brought to you by Nick Matthews.
Yeah, okay. Hold on. Let me just tell you what that means. Semper Supra or Always Above. Should have just called it Always Above.
Always above. Okay.
All right, T, let's check it out.
Let's.
Oh, yeah. The invisible front line for fighters brave and true. Will be into space. There's no limit to our sky. Standing guard both night and day. We're the Space Force from on high.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pull up Marine Corps hymn.
Marine Corps hymn?
Yeah, I believe that's what it's called.
Okay.
Hoo-wah.
I was looking into the...
In the Navy, you can da-da-da-da. In the Navy.
Oh, well.
Sorry, I don't mean to blindside you there.
No, it's okay.
What'd you think of the song?
I
think it's a hit?
I think it's got potential, I suppose.
Seems a bit lazy,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Mailed it in here.
Yeah, maybe.
Mm-hmm. What was it? The Marines?
Marine Corps hymn. Believe that's what they call it.
Okay.
I believe you'll recognize it.
Mm-hmm. This is the Space Force.
This was to mock Trump's thing. Yeah. Is that the trailer or whatever?
Yeah, that was their little intro thing or whatever.
Yeah.
All right. This. Let's let's get at it. This better make me want to go fucking kill babies.
Yeah, hell
let's
yeah.
go.
Full Rambo.
Mm-hmm. Knock it off, JR Videos.
Yeah, get out of there. Come on.
Do it.
Do it. Oh, yeah, this is good. This is good stuff.
From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we find our country's battles in the air and land and sea.
Yeah, all right.
All right, yeah.
There's going to be
None of
Marines
them are
out there
great.
wanting to shoot us in the face for singing their song.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Apologize to all the Marines.
Yep,
out there. I actually mean
much
that,
love,
too.
much love.
Love the Marines.
All respect, but you could do a better song than that.
Yeah, that song.
Let's get something that makes you want to
Yes.
fucking
Yeah,
rock.
It's got to have like a Metallica feel to it.
Exactly.
You know? Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. I mean, that's what they're listening to when they're fucking, you know.
Yep. I had my chopper mix on my iPod back in the day. It was all like Pantera and Metallica
Yeah.
and
It's
shit
awesome.
every time I was getting on
It's a way to do it.
on a bird.
Way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Family of a young baseball player.
All right. How young?
Like 12. He was playing in the Little League World Series.
Okay.
Yeah.
And a boy.
Yeah. He suffered a serious head injury after he fell from a bunk bed at the Little League World Series. He's now suing the sports organization and the maker of the bunk beds because they didn't have a rail guard.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're 12, dude. If you're 4, okay.
Yeah.
You're
Even
12.
then, Little League's fault?
No. Well, I mean,
I guess if they put the bunk beds
they
in
put
the
it
dorms.
together. They let them sleep there. They provided the accommodations.
Yeah. The kid's kind of fucked up, too.
Kid on the bottom bunk isn't getting fucked up.
Yeah.
Unless the kid on the top bunk falls on him.
Yeah, true. The parents of Easton Oliverson, 12, claimed the Little League Baseball Inc. and John Savoy and Son, doing business as Saver Contract Furniture of Williamsport, failed to equip the upper bunks with rails to protect occupants. As a result, Easton fell from the top bunk at the Little League World Series complex in Williamsport, Pennsylvania on August 15th. He suffered a skull fracture, bleeding on the brain. In the immediate afterwards, Easton has since had 3 operations, battled a staph infection. The more recent development after a 3rd craniotomy is seizures. Oof, it's been a long road, but Easton is now finally back at home in Utah as his parents seek $50,000 plus punitive damages.
That's not, I mean, that's reasonable.
No. $50,000 plus punitive. Punitive will be $100 million.
Okay, yeah.
So everyone's doing that. Like, I noticed the comments. So, like, 50,000, there's probably a cap on what. So,
what you can
punitive
do.
damage.
So, yeah, that's right. That's where they get you on those.
Yeah, because you see, for suing for more than $25,000, Jay would always point out, like, like $200 million more than $25,000.
Yeah.
So same thing here. They're not going for $50,000.
No.
Family's lawsuit alleges that the Little League Baseball failed to protect young players staying at its facility. He also claims Savoy sold dangerous and defective bunk beds that caused significant and permanent injuries to Easton. Little League was negligent because the bed was allowed to exist in dangerous condition without rails. The pitcher and outfielder suffered a fractured skull, broken artery, and an epidural hematoma.
Wait, two people got hurt?
No, just him.
Just kidding.
Why? What did
Being a dick. Pitcher and an outfielder?
Oh, yeah, he was both. Easton was
He was a little leaguer. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's wherever the
of course.
fuck you put me.
Easton was immediately airlifted to a children's hospital in Danville, Pennsylvania, where he had to undergo immediate surgery and was placed in intensive care. Several days later, he received surgery again to replace his skull cap.
Hey, that's a problem.
Yeah.
I gotta say,
do they thread that and then just screw it back on? How do they do that?
Velcro, I think.
Is it Velcro?
In case you got to get in and out of there a lot.
Why wouldn't you thread it? Just be able to screw it back
spin it
on.
right back on there?
Yeah.
Okay, well, look. Open her up.
Yeah.
Not
Sure.
a bad way to go. I think they got a case, though. I got to tell you.
Yeah, you think so?
Yep.
Yeah.
A bunk bed without the guardrails. It's one thing if it's in your personal home. It's another when you're providing the public with this.
Yeah.
And the Little League
Well-
is responsible for that. And the bed manufacturer not putting it on there, I bet you they will get paid. They will get paid.
They will. I agree with you. And there's more to the story as to why that's going to bolster what you're saying.
All right.
So his parents claim he suffered in the past, will continue to suffer in the future. Aches, pains, trauma. Absolutely.
Sure.
Contusions, which is bruising.
All right.
Humiliation. Embarrassment.
It depends.
Suffering.
Is he talking funny now or something?
Disfigurement and or inconvenience. In the aftermath of this fall, the Little League announced that we'd be doing away with its bunk beds and have each bed sitting on the ground.
Yeah, absolutely.
Smart move.
Yep.
Since 1992, Little League...
I was going to say, it's funny that we've had to get to this point before. It's always been fine.
Right.
Until now.
Well,
in the past, somebody fell off and, maybe didn't crack their skull open, but, fell down, hurt their arm, and they were like, you idiot, you fell out of bed?
Yeah.
Come on. Raised you better than that,
How
son.
hard you dreaming,
You're gonna miss the fucking World Series, dumbass.
Yeah. Since 92, Little League has used institutional-style bunk beds in the dorms. While these beds do not have guardrails, Little League is unaware of any serious injuries ever occurring. So your kid's an idiot.
Yep.
I don't know what to say. Is basically what they're saying.
But, I guess you could technically roll out of the lower level bed and hurt yourself.
Yeah, sure.
Theoretically.
Out of an abundance of caution, Little League has made the decision to remove all bunks from within the dorms and have each bed frame individually on the floor. Now, the family's lawyer said he's aware of at least one other case of a boy who suffered a concussion after falling out of the bunk beds in 2019. He spoke to that boy's father, who told him in his dealings with Little League, they promised they would have bed rails for these children. That was 3 years ago.
Well, that could be a he said, she said type
Yeah.
thing. If there's any correspondence to go along with that, then they are fucked. I mean, fucked.
Yeah. Not to mention, does the team have anything to? Could the team get involved in suing? By the way, you took their star pitcher and outfielder out of the roster.
Yeah, I mean you're down two positions right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, is that something where the team?
That's crazy. You
rallies
throw a
around
pitch
them?
and then you run out to the fucking center field, dude. That's really athletic,
dude. We've
That is
seen
impressive.
Bugs Bunny do that.
That's impressive as shit.
You've seen Bugs play. Bugs can do that shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's a bunny though.
Yeah, it's true. All right. Do we have any email?
Do we
Today? Yeah.
Do we?
Sure, we do.
I exhausted our post yesterday, so
What's that?
I'm out of post.
Oh, you're out of post. Yeah. Well, that happens.
Fix that.
Send us some more emails. Walters@DetroitCast.com. Radio4one.com. I haven't mentioned that today.
Nope.
I apologize. Don't tune it out yet. I do have a couple emails. Buy merch, t-shirts, tank tops, sweatshirts, Amazon link, Amazon Canada, My Pillow. You're going to love the slides. Get a pair of the slides. Go to my store for the coffee. It's great. You'll love it. Groupon. Link to our Patreon page.
There it is.
Please go there. Sign up as a member. We put some another hour of stuff in there the other day, which is really fun. So
I did an Amazon purchase myself before we started the show.
did you really? Mm-hmm. Attaboy. Attaboy.
Indeed.
See what we get paid from it. Mm-hmm. Something. A little something.
Anything.
Use promo code TDC if you
That
go
part's
to
all mine, though.
My store or My Pillow. Fine. Pussy chips.
Oh God, my mouth's been watering. I mean, I really want to taste a pussy chip.
Yeah. Guys, I think the only way to really tell if those chips taste like box is to not only have the chips, but also have the real thing to taste side by side.
Done.
Have a taste of puss, then taste of a chip. So if any of the brave female monsters would be kind enough to volunteer, it would be much appreciated. And I guess if you need a taste tester, I can find time in my schedule to help out as well with Love Bone Job.
Oh, of course you can.
Yeah. There's
I think we'd have
there's
a harder-
handful of listeners that I would personally choose.
We'd have a harder time finding the chips.
You think? Well, there's only a handful of listeners that I would
the
personally
hardest part,
choose.
we have to find a Lithuanian box.
Oh, you think their pussies are going to taste different?
I'm just saying, different parts of the world, water's different. You know, the pH levels vary. There's variables to this thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think you got to find a Lithuanian box to compare the Lithuanian chip to.
I mean, Lithuanian box is obviously going to have a much bigger blowout. I'm guessing.
That's a bold statement. I don't
Well,
know.
I don't think Brazilians and shit like that are going on with Lithuania as much as they would be here. You know,
Okay.
I'm just guessing.
Who knows?
You know.
It's pure speculation on your part.
Yeah. Well, you know. It is. I mean, I don't know how we can find that out.
Well, I mean,
Croatian, Lithuanian box.
I've got a pretty good memory. You know, it hasn't been that long.
Yeah.
So I can go back to the tape and pretty much know what it tastes like.
Really?
I don't necessarily have to go, blind taste test. Now that is a great idea. We go with a blind challenge, a little blind taste test, and be like, chip, box.
Yeah, but how are you sniff them both, or you lick one?
I'll go for lick. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
But you don't need to be blind to know which one's the vagine and which one's a potato chip.
Stop fucking ruining the game.
Well,
dude. Jeez.
But if it's just
if I'm not blindfolded, I'll obviously know.
Okay.
I'll be able to see the difference.
But yeah, you'll be really disappointed if you fucking lick a chip and you pick box. You're gonna look like an idiot too.
Not if their flavor's on point.
Yeah.
That would be a testament to the Chaz folks.
Yeah.
They've dialed it in.
We got to get a bag of that stuff. It's $9.99. Something with a C and a line through
Squiggly
it.
thing. I don't know what that
so
fucking thing is.
I don't know if
a Lithuanian ruble or whatever.
Yeah, it's a rupee or something.
Dinar.
Yeah, it's probably going to cost, minus $2 American dollars
and $300 shipping.
Right, which is fine.
Yeah,
it's fine. Randy emails in Jeopardy replacement. Hey, Mike, the only reason that Mayim Bialik was even considered over Ken Jennings is because she's a Jew.
Oh boy,
Really?
I don't know. She is a.
She's smart.
She's like a
Molecular biologist.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. They don't need a gay, black, disabled tranny when they have one of those. A Jew.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh no, I think a gay, black, disabled tranny beats out any Jew.
I guess that depends on who's making the decisions.
Hollywood.
Well,
Well,
there you go.
Pat Sajak will be an interesting replacement to watch. I'm sure he'll get a black female for that one. Who's that lady you love so much? Robin. Oh, fucking Robin. Fuck you, Robin. Shut up, Robin. They could check 3 boxes with her. Lesbian, black, female. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Except she's annoying as shit.
Yeah. What? Gibbons?
No. Robin Roberts. Shut up, Robin. Oh, I can't stand her. All right. Let's call it a day there.
Shall we?
Yeah.
shall.
Let's get on out of here. It's getting late.
Orger.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the show. And we'll be back tomorrow. We'll do it all over again. Hopefully you'll join us then.